SwoleBenji here. So back in 2020 on September 1st, I made a New World review video, which has been privatized since, but this was an honest review that I made back, almost a year and a half ago for New World, and we're going to rewatch it together. I'm going to talk about what's in it and what has changed, what's been improved, and what hasn't been fixed at all in almost the 2 years' time. Just kind of a blast from the past to see how much the game has changed, alright? Before we get into that, I want to explain why I'm making a video like this, okay? So, the other day I had a needler crafted in the game, right? And on the left side is what I was supposed to get. But what I got was on the right side. So like any concerned person, I put in a support ticket to Amazon asking for it, very politely might I add, to be fixed, corrected, or maybe have the materials of the crafting the needler returned, because it was quite a grind before the server merges, right? But what ended up happening was the support ticket person, I don't know what they did wrong, but they just banned my account for 2 days. 2-day ban. So here I am making this kind of video, right? And this one's just kind of on the back burner. I'll put it up whenever I get a chance. But I also want to share some things from Reddit as well. So let me share some Reddit posts of just people that had similar problems that I'm having right now. So here's one where someone puts in a support ticket. This is Jim from Amazon Games, and then blah 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 at the end. Best regards, Brian A. So they switched agents in between in between the tickets. I don't know what's going on there. Now here's another Redditor who got a permanent ban for having the guild name addiction. I don't know how that's offensive, but it's whatever. All right. Here is a Redditor. Hold on just a sec now. Here is a Redditor who got a temp ban. He appealed it in the live chat, but now he's permanently banned. So, again, this just, it happens all the time, right? Now, if you just go to Reddit and search ban on the subreddit, you're going to see so many of these posts, like auto ban system out of control, unfairly banned, temp ban, ban wars, report system still automated and abusable. Be careful when reporting bots. This also happened to me. I openly reported bots, and all the bots decided to mass report me back. Fun times, right? So let me show you some interesting things here from my tickets. Okay, so here's one that I put in right rather recently, and this is Tom S. Hello, this is Tom S. And then it's just some copy-paste bullshit. I get like 100 of these, right? If I put in tickets, this is an automatic response. This is not something that this person typed out. But then it says, best regards, James O. So, yeah, fun stuff right there, right, guys? All right. Then we have another one here. Here's another copy-paste one that makes no sense. Again, it's the same copy-paste BS from the other ticket, but then it's talking about Amazon Prime and a whole bunch of other stuff that has nothing to do with the ticket whatsoever. It's just, this person just hit all their copy-paste macros and then sent it, and then closed the ticket, right? Okay, and then here's another one, where they just send this one. The previous agent provided you with all the available information to your appeal inquiry. They send a bunch of these, right? This is just an automatic one, and then it's like, you will not receive a response if you reply, which you will receive a response. That's just them to try to limit the tickets. This is a complete copy paste that all the agents, quote unquote, use. All right, and then here's another one, just another big copy paste BS. Like Amazon App Store, what? Like Android? I don't even own a phone. Why are you sending me this? It's ridiculous. Okay, and then I got a bunch of these too. Thank you. The Prime Veterans Day promotion ran from November 6th to the 11th. Has now ended, and then they just kept sending this one over and over and over and over again. So Amazon doesn't know what the hell they're doing. All right, so let's get to the video now. Which did I close it? No. It's right here. Awesome. So let's go ahead and start watching this together, and then I'm going to pause the video and give my commentary. All right, here we go.
SwoleBenji here.
Now, I just want to mention that I'm not using footage from New World. I'm using footage from World of Warcraft Classic. This is not the newest Classic. This is from 2020, where I played on Fairlino with a guild named Pirates, who are They don't really play to do raids and do all the normie stuff. They just play to gank people in Red Ridge. Okay, you can clearly see that our raid is comprised mostly entirely of rogues. So very cool stuff there.
This is my New World review. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the good things, and then I'll get to all the bad things about it. And I'm not using the footage from the game because I don't really trust Amazon to keep a bad review up without trying to flag it down. So
wow, guys, that aged well, didn't it? Okay, remember what happened to Video Game Databank, who is known as Kibbles now? Where one of his videos got flagged down, and then Amazon was like, wait, no, we were trying to flag a gold selling video. Which, no one's really said this on any Reddit or any other YouTuber, but I'm going to say it right here and right now. The gold sellers are allowed to use the game footage to sell the gold. Sure, selling gold is against the game's terms of service and all that kind of fun stuff, and it's kind of a scummy thing to do, right? But they are still free to use YouTube and use the video game footage to sell the gold. That is not illegal. That is not something you can flag down. That is not an excuse, Amazon. Okay, let's continue.
So you're going to have footage of something else on the screen, sorry. So my potato PC can barely...
So, potato PC, I had a very awful PC back in the day. It was actually a PC that I had made in 2010. That's how old it was, and it was still able to run New World.
Run games these days, but I can run this game at 60 FPS on low settings, and that is crazy to me because the graphics are really good looking. The game just looks nice. It's got really good sound and atmosphere and environments and sound effects, and like I said, the graphics just look really good for an MMORPG. I really like how this game just looks. Everything that you can harvest and chop and pick up and kill and hit and attack all react with weight to it, and it's just really cool to see like little herbs that you pick up from the ground that are like being electrocuted or like having this dark mist pour out of the top of them. It's just really cool and neat looking.
Alright, so what you're seeing on the screen, everything I said still stands. The graphics are great and all that stuff, good, but you know, graphics can only carry a game so long. So what you're seeing on the screen is we all hop onto the boat in Menethil Harbor. And we kill everyone on the boat, and what happens is, before these guys can run from the graveyard back to the boat to resurrect, the boat travels to another area, right? Which will then automatically resurrect everyone back onto the boat, in which case we kill them again, and then before they can run back to the boat takes off once again, and thus they are trapped on the boat with us. But you can see here a lot of my allies are dying.
The game could use a better musical soundtrack.
Right,
it's decent enough for what it is. I mean,
apparently the soundtrack is made by the people that made Game of Thrones. I have never seen Game of Thrones. I'm going to start watching it soon, though. You can spoil it if you want. I don't even know the name of the character, so it wouldn't matter.
Had a whole year to improve on this, and it's already really good. So graphics and sound are really good. But I don't play games for graphics and sound. I play games for the gameplay. So let me get into why this game sucks and why you should avoid it and not waste $3 on a shitty website to get a test key for it.
Speaking of, in order to play the public test at the time of this recording, I had to go to one of those CD key websites and pay $3 to have access. Now, I was only 11,000 subscribers at the time. This is before I started making daily videos, so I think my view counts were only in like 150 to 200 to 300,000 per month, whereas now it's 800,000 to 3 million views a month. Use TubeIQ or I'm sorry, vidIQ or TubeBuddy if you don't believe me.
These guys never sent me a game key. I mean, I've got 11,000 subs. Most companies are like, yeah, here, test our game, show it on your YouTube channel. But Amazon doesn't give a shit if you're an 11,000 sub channel. They only want you to have like 100,000 subs, apparently. I don't know.
And even then, they don't care about the 100,000 sub channels. There's a few hundred to 200 to 300,000 sub channels, and they got zero attention from Amazon. If you are a Twitch streamer, though, oh, you got all the attention. You got all the shout-outs. You get answered on Twitter immediately if you're a Twitch streamer, but they don't like YouTubers.
I don't know, maybe it's something I did on Twitch, like stream sniping or griefing other Twitch streamers, because I don't really like Twitch. Anyway,
I was big on ganking Asmongold because he played on this server, so that happened a lot, as well as a lot of other streamers on World of Warcraft, and I think it's fun. I think it's funny. That's literally what I'm doing in the video right now.
Let's get into why this game sucks. Alright, first off, this game tries to do way too many things all at once. It takes from Diablo 2, Diablo 3, Path of Exile, Albion, Arcade, World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Online, Dark Age of Camelot. It tries to, not the good things by the way, it tries to take from the Old Republic. It's just a huge melting pot of every other game you've already ever played if you're of age. And that
Now, that's not a good thing, because it's basically a game that's made by people that don't even play MMORPGs. New World, you can tell, it is not made by people that enjoy and play MMORPGs. And if the devs want to come out and make a little video and prove me wrong, then great. But I'm not saying they can't play their own game, I'm just saying that they just took every idea from all the other games and just threw it into their game, because why not?
They sound cool, but it's not. It actually kind of sucks. It doesn't work well. For one, it's very babied and casualized, and I'll get into that too. But to start, it is...
I will say, New World is possibly the easiest game I've ever played to heal. It's the easiest game to tank. As far as DPS goes, it's the most brainless game I've ever had to do for DPS rotations. So PvE, it's completely brainless. For PvP, it's not as brainless, but it's still not nearly as in depth as like World of Warcraft.
Server based, and there's like 5 regions. You got like 3 in Asia, 3 in America, stuff.
It's actually down to 2 now, isn't it? It's like you got three in the European and then 2 in the American. So they dropped one. I think they dropped. I don't remember what one they dropped, but they pretty much just said no to an entire niche of audience.
Like that, that's 6, whatever. But each region has like 20 different servers, so already, unless the game has more than like 20 million gamers, the servers are going to be empty as fuck. So
they recently did correct this partially by merging a ton of servers, which just made more people quit. I'm probably gonna quit soon because, unless they give me little transfer tokens or let me buy a transfer token, I literally can't make friends on my server, because just everyone turned against each other as soon as the server said. Everyone split off and did their own thing, and everyone's just trying to get at each other's throats. Everyone just hates each other, right? It's so weird to see in MMORPGs. And I don't even do anything like bad or rude. I don't scam people. I don't rip people off. I don't steal Lazarus orbs. I just shitpost in chat. That's all I do. I go into chat, and if someone's talking about how much they love their little pet skunks, and then I talk about how owning pets is like pet slavery. You shouldn't own pets. Pets should be free. And, regardless if I believe in that or not, it's just something to stir up the chat, okay? It's not like it's a big deal.
You almost don't run into people, and the world's pretty big for what it is currently. So with that many servers and that many regions, you're just not going to run into people at all. Like the most I've seen in a major town, like the major starting town, was like maybe 10 people at a time. Compared to World of Warcraft, compared to Albion, where there's hundreds of people, sometimes almost a fucking 1,000 people. That's really sad. Alright, so the PvE combat, basically you have like swords, you have axes, guns, bows, a hammer, a fire staff, and a healing staff, and that's it. That's all the weapons in the game. They
did add a few more weapons, but they're very slow at adding the weapons. I think the next one is the blunderbuss, then you got the daggers, and then finally the greatsword, and we're probably not going to see the greatsword till November, December of 2022. Let's be real.
More. Of course, they'll add more in a year, hopefully, but the problem with the combat is everything shares a cooldown. You have 3 weapon swaps, and each have 3 abilities that you can put on your hotbar at a time, right? So you would think, oh, I can switch to my life staff, teleport halfway across.
They actually made it where you can only equip 2 weapons now, and they don't share cooldowns, so it's semi-fixed, it's semi-not fixed. I do miss being able to equip 3 different weapons, though.
The screen, switch to my bow, use a power shot, switch to my musket, use another power shot, and then switch back to the life staff and teleport again. No, that's not how it works, because
the life staff used to have a movement ability that was kind of like the fire staff's burnout, but it actually moved you faster and further away. So, shame that they took that out of the game, because everyone was using it. And, we could always use more healers in these games.
When you teleport with the life staff, all the skills on that button are now on cooldown for that amount of time. So if you play a tank and they have a last stand ability, it's literally almost called last stand, like straight plagiarism for World of Warcraft. You use that, you can't use that ability slot for 2 whole minutes.
It was renamed Defiant Stance, and the cooldown's 45 seconds now. And with the refreshing, you can knock it down to 36 seconds, and with the refreshing move, you can get it back in about 8 seconds.
So whenever you use that as a tank and you switch to like something else, well, sorry, you're gonna be down one whole ability out of 3 for 2 minutes. It's really kind of cringe. Why even bother with weapon swaps if you're gonna lock all the other abilities out?
They did, like I said, they fixed it because used to, if you used one ability on one weapon and you switched, that ability for that slot would still be on cooldown, and it's like, what the hell?
Now for PvE, it's kind of cool that if you use a bow or a gun and you shoot something in the head, it does more damage. That's kind of neat. Like in Dark Souls, if you hit enemies in the head, to my knowledge, they don't really take more damage. If you manage to get behind an enemy with a sword and you do a backstab attack, it does a little bit more damage. But ultimately, that's ruined. All of this is ruined by the fact that if you don't go hatchet or sword and just spam your left click swing button, that the DPS is far superior to anything, any little technique you could do. So the PvE in this game becomes equip your hatchet and left click mobs over and over. That's it. That's all you do. The entire game world, I did harp about how cool and pretty it looked, but unfortunately it's very copy pasty. You basically go from town to town and you get quests to go like kill 20 undeads and loot some chests, and each town is literally copy pasted on a map painter like program. So they didn't really put as much work into it than initially you would think they did, and that really sucks because
I like how I called out the copy-pastedness of the game a whole year before it came out, and how other YouTubers eventually showcased the whole copy-pasting thing and rotating things a little bit. It's very obvious that they took entire cave systems, dungeons, all sorts of things. It's copy-pasted like crazy. Even the geometry is copy-pasted. They're like, I know certain mountain formations you can glitch in by doing a dive animation, and that same mountain is like in like 50 different parts of the world, and they all have that same little crevice that you can just glitch into. It's pretty funny, actually, that I noticed that so early on, and only like, what, a 3-day like preview.
The game starts to feel really samey after just like 2 to 3 hours. So crafting is a lot like Albion Online with the tier system. You just go out, you get like iron, you can make iron products, you go get whatever other resource there is. Unfortunately, the resources seem not super common, even though there is low population, until you go very far out into the world. So like the noob zones will be always oversaturated with players that are just constantly camping it. And
now it's bots. Bots oversaturate everything. And also in the preview, there was way less resources, so they did add quite a bit of resources, but even then, the bots take them all.
Usually max level players that are doing it because that's where the resources are. If you go later in the world, there's no fiber. There's just none. Like, it just doesn't exist. And it's already been mapped out by either the devs or some data miner, I'm not sure. So it's a huge crafting bottleneck. It's not even that interesting. You can craft hundreds of things in one click. And unlike in Albion, where you can if you just want to be a wood chopper, you chop wood all day. That's really cool, right? But in this game, you have to do the little mini dungeon things where you go into caves and kill enemies for the chest, because you need sandpaper to craft logs, and without sandpaper, sorry, you can't use a lumber mill. It's really stupid. It forces people into PvE when they just want to be gatherers. At least in Albion, you can just be a gatherer. You don't have to kill anything. Like, would a lumberjack back in the day be some rugged, bestial hunter guy? I don't think so. But
So what I'm getting at here is that if you want to refine materials to craft, you have to do chest runs, and chest runs suck, and chest runs are boring, and I do not like chest running. I just want to go chop trees all day. I don't want to have to go open chests to get sandpaper, or sell the trees raw that I chopped to buy the sandpaper, then chop more trees to refine the trees into, planks. That sucks. I hate that. But the new content update that's going to hit in February or March introduces a new resource. Oh, and I never signed an NDA, Amazon, so go fuck yourself. I'm gonna tell them because I never signed the NDA, stupid. It's the new resource is sand. You harvest the sand, and then you can make products from the sand, like sandpaper, even though sandpaper isn't made by sand. But you get the point. It's an easier way for players to get those resources.
With the crafting system is a pain in the ass to like craft bullets. To craft bullets, you have to have all these different materials, like fucking 7 different things, just to craft 25 bullets. Or you can go into the very first starter cave of the game, loot 5 chests, and have about 80 bullets. Now,
alright, they actually fixed the bullet issue that I'm talking about. You can craft them up to 50 at a time now. And looting bullets, they actually nerfed. I don't know if they watched this video, probably not. It only has like 4,000 views.
It's a way easier to just find the bullets in chests than to go craft it. So there's no reason to ever actually craft if you're like, say, a gunman. Okay, what about the PvP? Well, the PvP is just terrible. There's no point to it, unfortunately. If you flag up for PvP, there are 3 factions in the game, which when you hit like level 10 or 12, in my case, because I grinded early on, you get to pick purple, red, or like green, or maybe it's yellow, I'm not really sure. But the purple faction is right in the middle of your fucking screen, and the other ones are to the left and right of the screen. So everyone just picks the middle one, the purple faction. And guess who owns the entire map? The purple faction. So of course...
Alright, so it's funny looking at that a year later. The majority of factions in Europe are purple, and weirdly enough, the majority of factions on the American servers are green, but purple is not... They're pretty close behind, so that one was called in 2020, guys.
I joined the purple faction wanting to be part of the Zerg, you know, and world PvP is just trash. If you actually manage to kill someone, you get less money from killing them, less gold, than killing the very first enemies in the game, like 0.06 gold. It's laughable, it's ridiculous. And what happens is, if you're in like a dungeon area where like in like an outdoorsy part where you're doing a quest, everyone that comes up on you can snipe you from hundreds of yards away with their muskets. And if they crouch, you can't see their nameplate. So you're just getting shot by arrows and muskets, and you're like, well, this is stupid, so you take cover. Or maybe they come in for melee kills, whatever. And whenever you kill someone, they have a camp right next to the quest area, so they just respawn immediately and continue questing until you run up on them and then you fight. Like, I killed one guy 8 times until he whittled me down enough and finally won. And then I just respawned at my camp, and, you know, it was just, we just kept fighting, and you lose durability when you die from players. So we just kept breaking each other's gear until one of them logged off, which was them, of course, because I was a freaking berserker Chad, which is the PvE way to clear shit quickly. Anyway, the PvP is pointless, it's stupid, there's no reason to do it, and that's really the ultimate downfall of the game, is that
it really is, and this is not fixed to this day. You cannot kill enemy camps. Anytime that you put a camp near someone else, and you kill them or they kill you, they just stand on top of your camp until you respawn, and then they get the first hit while you're in the loading screen. Which is what I had to do to players on my old server until I transferred, but now it's just Zergs everywhere. It is, if you're not part of the Zerg, then you just move on. And when I played with Enclave, when they were active in the game, we owned the whole server of Heliopolis and Methanol. And what we did was we would travel, you know, like 100 at a time, and just, like, through overwhelming numbers and forces, we would just control an area. And at first, people, they would try to Zerg up and fight back and eventually get pushed into town, and they couldn't leave town. But what people ended up doing was they realized that they only need 50 of their PvP Chads to fight in wars. So what ended up happening is they would just let us push territory. And then, you know, come wartime, they would just get their top Chads and defend the zone. It didn't matter if we pushed the zone or not. It was just a waste of time for all 200 of us to push a zone, because they would just... There's no reason for them to fight back or defend it, because they can just simply win the war if they chose to, right? And that was on Heliopolis, and that was when we were at a major cure score disadvantage. But we fixed that by going to Methanol, so yeah. But anyway, PvP is still a joke in this game. It's just awful.
There's very little variety in your items and your skills. Like, I think each item has maybe 3 to 5 skills tops. Like even the baby's first RPGs, like back in the 90s, like had way more skills and abilities to use. And I get it, they got a whole year to fix this shit. But right now, PvP is a joke. And my last gripe before I end the video,
I hate that there's not that lot of skills in the game. Okay, when I play an MMORPG, I like to have a lot of skills. Just look at my hotbar in World of Warcraft here. I've got Blind, Will of the Forsaken, Cold Blood, Shoot Bow, Kick, Eviscerate, Sprint, Vanish, Slice and Dice, Expose Armor, Holy Water, Flame Candle, Mind Control Cap, Premonition, I think is the name, Thistle Tea, Gnomish Shield Belt, Pick Lock, Feint, Cheap Shot Garrote, Ambush, Distract, Saps, Cancel Stealth, Mount Up, and Pickpocket. That's just on one little hotbar. On the side, I have like 20 other options of like Eat Food, Drink Potion, Change Equipment, and so on and so forth. Whereas in New World, you have 3 abilities. It's really sad. Like, I just want an RPG where you can be a wizard and you can cast like 40 different spells. Who cares if the spells are good or bad or barely ever used? I like to have access to them for either roleplay reasons or so I don't burn out of the game. It's simple.
is that this game has voice chat. This game has proximity voice chat, which I love in games. Like if you play,
no one uses it. No one uses voice chat. Now, when the game first launched, there was problems with the voice chat. And in the betas, there was a lot of voice chatters, but they all just disappeared or quit the game or something. I don't know what happened, but everyone just sits on their private little discords or in their little groups, and they either can't hear the voice chat or they choose to ignore it. It's really sad that games have become so antisocial thanks to like Discord and mainly Discord.
play Rust, you play any Gary's mod, you play any like Counter-Strike, whatever. There's voice chat. You talk to people, right? And it's in this game, so I can run up to someone in town and be like, "Hey man, nice helmet. Wow, you want to go help me kill some wolves?" And they won't. No one talks. I literally spammed voice chat in every town, in every starter zone, in every quest area that I could. And there was 2 people that mic'd up, and the only reason they mic'd up is because I was in a PvP area and I was able to body block them inside a one-way entrance to a house with 1 door and no exits. So I stood in front of that door for 20 minutes and I told the guy, "I'm not moving until you mic up." And he eventually mic'd up and talked to me. And there was one other guy, which was his friend, which was telling me to move. And that was it. Eventually what they ended up doing was the guy that had a friend aggroed like 20 mobs, ran to me where I was blocking the doorway, died, and then the mobs aggroed me, which, you know, the mobs will push you around. So they pushed me out of the doorway and the guy got free. And that was it. That was my only vocal interaction with another player because no one mics up. Everyone's timid. No one has microphones. I don't know what's going on. It's cringe. Also, the game has a lot of bugs. Like it took like 6 tries until the game eventually loaded with sound because half the time it doesn't load with sound. And my PC is a potato, so sometimes the game will just randomly freeze and crash. And I've actually never heard my PC's fans rev up as hard as they ever have on any game until this one.
This is the same game that killed 3090 cards. This is the same game whose sound still bugs out, the same game that still has all these glitches, and it's gotten better, but it's not fixed. It's been a year, man. You've had a year to fix this.
Like when I'm playing this for like 30 minutes, my PC fans are just full fucking blast. So that's it. That's my review. Don't play this game. Play ArcAge instead. Play World of Warcraft even. This game is...
ArcAge actually came back out. Don't play ArcAge. It sucks. The old ArcAge was good. I don't know. I don't think I meant to say ArcAge. I think I meant to say Albion Online in this video, but I just had ArcAge on the mind because it's a fun game.
Not worth it. There's nothing to do. It's a baby hand-holding game for casuals, and because
I'm surprised that there's so many normies and casuals playing New World, and it makes me sick.
Owned by Amazon, the second you grief troll or even boost friends or say anything, like there's people getting banned from this game for complaining about the ping.
Yes, someone got banned for complaining about the ping. I forgot about that. There's been people that have been banned for having fart in their name. A guy got, I think I already talked about it in this exact video, a guy got banned for having his guild name Addiction. The bans are ridiculous, but you know who's not getting banned? The dupers, the cheaters, the exploiters. I mean, I wish I could reveal more information about how cheaters and exploiters just haven't been touched in this game at all. Yeah, sure, maybe a few very virulent ones that have like duped, you know, millions of gold and just given it to the whole server. Yeah, they banned like a few people, dude, but they did. It's funny because you can say like someone said like poopy butthole in the chat and got a 3-day ban for saying like a preschool word. It's sad. I don't know what's going on.
That's it. Don't touch an Amazon product. There are other games. They have like 2 other games. They suck. They're literal Who games. Fuck you, Amazon. New World sucks. Don't buy it. Don't play it. Please subscribe. I appreciate it.
I missed this end screen with the donators. Bursic disappeared. So did Kelcypher. Valinac's still around. Lexifane, James, Marcus, and Get Good Made. I haven't seen them in forever, man. Or the guy named A. Haven't seen him. Oh yeah, and I successfully raised the funds for that RTX 3080. Well, it's almost a 3090, but we went with a 3080. And also that Discord link doesn't work anymore, so don't bother using that one, of course. But yeah, that was the video. And does that review still hold up to this day? Yes, it does. I think we've all learned the lesson, guys, not to buy Amazon game products. I don't even use Amazon. I don't use it for anything. The last person I knew that used the Amazon Fresh, they ordered a gallon of milk and it had a 3-day expiration date. Like, are you gonna drink? Is a normal person gonna drink a gallon of milk in 3 days? I mean, I can do a gallon of milk a day, go mad, but other than that, you're not drinking a gallon of milk a day, dude. But yeah, that's the video. It got like 4.4 thousand views. Now, I did put this into private mode because I wanted to be a good little boy and I wanted to show Amazon that I could work hard and be in their content creator program, which apparently is just completely automated. Every single person that, like filled out the stupid little form to get in was automatically accepted, and I have yet to have any contact with any creator program, anything at all, except for third-party companies that apparently work for Amazon. One of them called Algebra Media, who immediately tried to get me to sign an NDA when Kibbles was getting striked out, so I wouldn't talk about that. And I was like, no, I ain't signing that. It's just so stupid. Why would I sign an NDA whenever my fellow content creators are being attacked, right? And basically, that was the bridge that they burned. They never contact me. They let people dox, stalk, and harass me in the game with nothing being done about it. They ban people over stupid things. I have a 2-day ban because I put in a bug ticket about my needler not working and being crafted correctly. It's stupid. Don't play New World. Just stop. I'll keep making videos for it until I play something else. I've got a few more videos left to cook up, but I don't know how long I'm going to keep going. I don't have anyone to play with on this game anymore. There's no transfer tokens. There's no one that even has a similar like mind that I have that would play New World with me. So, yeah. Anyway, I know I made some troll videos like how to AFK and Outpost Rush, which those are cheeky meme videos. If you noticed, my team won on every single one of those. It's a joke, but these Redditors took it ultra seriously, and the videos were meant to get rid of the Redditors, to be honest. Let's be real. I don't make this as a way to make money or as a living. I don't use this as a job or a business venture. The whole point of the YouTube channel is to make friends. Anyway, guys, that was the New World review from 2020. I'm going to go ahead and unprivate this video so you can go watch it if you want without my commentary. It's an old video. You're going to have to dig around on my channel for it. But, yeah. So, I'm SwoleBenji. Thanks for watching. I'll try to make a video every day. Can't promise you that, but if you don't want to get banned in this game, never put in a support ticket, no matter what it is about. You're never going to get your items back. They're never going to help you. And, yeah, so see you in the next one. Take care.